Hi, thanks so much for joining. So this is Tennis for Dummies by Dummies, and it's basically walking you through some general tennis 101 if you're starting off tennis, understanding tennis record, understanding UTR, just some things I picked up over the years. If you have not already seen my first video on Tennis Record Explained and you're not familiar with the tennis record, please watch that video first. Also, please subscribe to my channel and like this video. It's really going to help me put out more videos and more content. If you have any suggestions for additional videos, please feel free to put that in the comments. I will start monitoring this channel much more, and I will be happy to add additional videos if you have any questions. So we're going to go ahead and really concentrate today and talk about the minutia of the dynamic rating and tennis record and the fluctuation of that tennis record going up and down based on your last match. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at Kelly Sanchez, who is one of my fearless captains. And we're going to go ahead and click into Kelly's profile here. We can see she's a 3.5 and we can see her dynamic rating of a 3.23. If we go ahead and click into this year, we're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. Okay, so to start off, how the dynamic rating is calculated is both for USTA and for tennis record, and they are different, and I talk about that in the first video. But how those dynamic ratings are calculated is it will take into account what your dynamic rating is, your partner's dynamic rating, and your opponent's dynamic rating. It will then go through an algorithm and predict the outcome of the match, not only the win-loss, but how many games you should have won by or how many games you should have lost by. If you beat that prediction, your rating will go up. If you do not beat that prediction, your rating will go down. What that means is if you're predicted to win 6-1, 6-1, and you win, but you go into a third set tiebreak, your rating will go down, or your dynamic rating will go down. And vice versa. If you are expected to lose 6-1, 6-1, you go in a third set tiebreak, you still lose, your rating will go up because you did better than the algorithm predicted. Okay, so let's actually take a look at that in more detail. So at the beginning of the year, at the end of last year and the beginning of this year, her dynamic rating and tennis record was a 3.05. So going into this match with Jill is a 3.25 and Kelly was a 3.05. They played two ladies that were rated a 3.07 and a 3.09. Okay, so Kelly was slightly lower, but right around the same as the two, and Jill was considerably higher, but they killed it, right? They won 6-2, 6-1. They beat the computer, so Kelly's tennis record went up. Okay, now let's also take a look at the difference between the match and then the rating dynamic rating, because you can see these are two very different numbers. The match dynamic rating only takes into account the prior, I believe it's either 2 or 3 matches, and that's it. Whereas this dynamic rating takes into account the whole of your tennis career. So this rating, because it's based on many, many, many more matches, it is not going to change as much as this number. This number is going to fluctuate considerably. And I do want to take a step back. This might not be in the entirety of your entire tennis career, but it covers a lot more matches than the last 2 or 3. I believe it would take into account at least the last 20 or 30 matches. So this number is going to fluctuate a lot because it only takes into account the last 2 or 3 matches, and this one takes into account pretty much the longevity of how you're doing over the last few months. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at this next match. So this next match, going into it, Kelly was a 3-1-2, and Kelly's partner was a 3-4-4. They played against a 3-3-7 who is kind of similar to the 3-3-4 and a 3-2-8. Being a 3-1-2, that is a little bit different. But once again, they killed it. 6-2, 6-2 win. So because of that, again, the dynamic rating for that particular match went up considerably, and the overall dynamic rating definitely went up a number of points. Okay. The next match she went in, again, Robin's rating was a 3-4-6, and Kelly's rating was a 3-2-0. But they played against players that was a 3-2-0 and a 3. And they went to a third set tiebreak. They won the match, but they went to a third set tiebreak. Because of that, Kelly's match rating kind of tanked because she was expected to win easily within 2 sets. Okay. But more importantly, this dynamic rating did definitely drop. Didn't drop as much as this match rating. Again, this match rating is based on the last few matches. But the overall dynamic rating did drop even though it was a win. Okay. Again, the next rating here, we can see she played with a 2-8-8, which is a high 3-0. But they played against 2 very experienced 3-5 players. So a 3-1-5 and a 2-8-8 playing against a 3-2-4 and a 3-1-1. And even though they won in a third set tiebreak, they won. They weren't expected to win that match. So because of that, again, that match dynamic rating just skyrocketed, but her overall dynamic rating went up as well pretty considerably. The next match she played was with me, actually. And rated a 3-0-3, and then we played against somebody who was a 3-0-3 and a 3, and Kelly was a 3-2-3. So we probably should have gotten one more game than we did. It should have probably been a 6-2, 6-3. So because of that, it was a slight hit, but not really. Very, very slight to the overall rating, and went down a little bit for the match rating, but not too bad. It wasn't a very big hit. We did still win, and we won pretty comfortably, and we did slightly worse than expected. And then the next rating, again, she played with Robin, who was a 3-4-8 against a 3-4-5. Very similar ratings. 3-2-2, 3-2-4, very similar ratings. And they went to a third set tiebreak, which is probably what it should have been and what the computer expected. And they did win, and her rating did go up ever so slightly, but it didn't go up considerably. It didn't go up like this, or it didn't go down like this jump, or it didn't go up like this jump, because they did about what the computer expected them to do. So it did go up slightly. And then finally, we can see this S here, and we can see this in red. I did talk about this in the prior video. That's because this is a mixed match. Mixed is kind of boy-girl, and it says a mixed 6-0. That means Kelly, because she's a 3-5, had a 2.5 partner, because 3.5 and 2.5 equals 6.0. And I know they played against 2 3.0 players, and they won 6-4, 6-4. But this rating is going to be different because in USTA, mixed and combo is playing with the same gender but a half a point higher or a half a point lower. Mixed and combo don't count towards your USTA rating. It's just kind of for fun. So in Tennisrecord, you'll see green for combo and you'll see red for mixed. And then you see this match as an S. That's because one of the players was self-rated. Because of one of the players was self-rated, they couldn't get this match scoring because, again, it takes into account the last or the prior, 2 or 3 matches in order to come up with that match rating. But because this player in Tay is a self-rated player, he hasn't played enough matches. When this match played, I'm guessing it was his first match. They couldn't come up with a match rating because he didn't have a rating. So that's why there was no match rating and it shows up as S. It's because this player was a self-rated player and it can't take into account the last 2 or 3 matches in order to come up with that. So that's kind of the fluctuation in Tennisrecord Explained. I hope that was useful. Again, please subscribe to my channel. Please like my channel. I really would like to kind of get ideas and recommendations for additional videos. I am kind of a tennis fanatic and I love doing this. So please subscribe, like the video, and add any comments. Thanks so much for joining.